Chapter 1. The Misunderstanding. You know that feeling when you're just trying to do your job and suddenly your boss thinks you're trying to steal his girlfriend? Yeah, that was my Monday morning. My name is Kai, and I'm a junior marketing coordinator at Zenith Corporation. 24, fresh out of grad school, and honestly just trying to survive in the corporate world without embarrassing myself. It started innocently enough. I was helping Elena, the CEO's girlfriend, with her presentation for the charity gala our company was sponsoring. She's sweet, really. The kind of person who brings homemade cookies to the office and remembers everyone's birthdays. Kai, you're a lifesaver. I had no idea how to format these slides. It's really no problem, Elena. I love this kind of stuff anyway. Plus, the gala sounds amazing. And that's when he walked in. Alexander Zhao, CEO. 6 feet of tailored suits, sharp jawlines, and ice-cold glares that could freeze hell over. Ms. Chen, my office, now. Elena was confused. Alex, what's wrong? Now. Narrator Elena gave me this apologetic look before hurrying out. I thought that was it, just a moody CEO having a bad day. I was so wrong. Narrator. 20 minutes later, Alexander stormed into my cubicle. And when I say stormed, I mean the man looked like he was about to declare war. Mr. Chen, we need to talk. Okay. Is this about the Henderson account? Because I already submitted. It's about Elena. Elena? Your girlfriend? I'm going to make this very clear. Stay away from Elena. She's off limits. Do I make myself understood? Narrator, something snapped in me. Maybe it was the audacity. Maybe it was just the exhaustion from pulling all-nighters on projects. Or maybe it was just the sheer ridiculousness of the situation. Narrator, I'm not interested in your girlfriend, Mr. Zhao. I'm into guys. Beat of shocked silence. Narrator, the words hung in the air between us. Alexander's expression went from angry to completely frozen. His mouth opened slightly like he wanted to say something, but nothing came out. It was the first time I'd ever seen the unshakable Alexander Zhao look completely lost. Kai, awkward, quieter. So, yeah, you really don't need to worry about me and Elena, like, at all. Can I get back to work now? Narrator. He left without another word, his perfectly composed mask cracked just enough for me to see the embarrassment underneath. I buried my face in my hands. Great, just great. Now my CEO knew I was into guys, thought I was after his girlfriend, and I probably just signed my own termination papers. But here's the thing I didn't know yet. Someone else had been listening to that entire conversation. Chapter 2. The Friend. If you think my day couldn't get weirder, buckle up. I was stress-eating vending machine chocolate, my coping mechanism of choice, when I felt someone watching me. You know that prickly feeling on the back of your neck? Turned around and nearly choked on my chocolate. Standing there, leaning against the doorframe like he'd stepped out of a fashion magazine, was Ethan Park, CFO, Alexander's best friend since college, and quite possibly the most beautiful man I'd ever seen in real life. Oh, Mr. Park, hi. I was just... Chocolate. I was getting chocolate, obviously, because I'm holding it. Smooth, Kai, real smooth. Ethan's fine. We're not that formal here. Rough morning? You could say that. I may have accidentally come out to my boss while he was accusing me of trying to steal his girlfriend, so yeah, Tuesday vibes. Wait, why did I just tell him that? Why was I like this? Actually, it's Monday. That's even worse. Ethan moved closer, and I swear my heart forgot how to function. He had this easy confidence about him, but unlike Alexander's cold intensity, Ethan's presence was warm, inviting. For what it's worth, I think Alex was way out of line. Elena's her own person, and you were just being nice. And also, his face when you said you were gay, priceless. I wish I'd been there to see it. Wait, he told you? Didn't have to. I was walking by, heard the whole thing. Oh God, how many people heard me shout that? Just me, your secret's safe. Well, not a secret from me anymore, but you know what I mean. He smiled then, a real genuine smile that made his eyes crinkle at the corners, and something in my chest did this stupid little flutter that I absolutely did not have time for. You're not, I don't know, weirded out? Why would I be? My brother's gay, half my friend group from college is queer, and, pause, meeting Kai's eyes, and I'm bi. Time stopped. I'm pretty sure my brain just blue-screened. You're bi, yes. Is that surprising? I mean, no, yes, I don't know. I didn't expect... Ethan laughed, and it was the kind of sound that made you want to hear it again. Tell you what, you look like you could use a break from this place. There's this cafe down the street, amazing pastries, decent coffee. Let me buy you a proper lunch, least I can do after Alex's dramatics. I don't know, I have the Morrison report due. Which isn't due until Friday, I checked. Softer, more sincere. Come on, Kai, let me make your Monday a little less terrible. The way he said my name, like he'd been thinking about how it would sound. I should have said no. This was my boss's best friend. This was complicated. This was a terrible idea. Okay, but you're buying me the biggest pastry they have. Deal. As we walked out of the office together, I caught sight of Alexander watching us from his office window. His expression was unreadable. I had no idea that lunch was about to change everything. Chapter 3. The Cafe. Ethan took me to was one of those hidden gem places. You know, the kind that doesn't look like much from outside, but feels like a warm hug when you step in. We found a corner table by the window. Sunlight streamed in, catching the highlights in Ethan's dark hair. I tried very hard not to stare. I failed. Ethan, setting down a tray with pastries and coffee. 1 almond croissant, 1 chocolate tart, and the biggest cinnamon roll they had. I didn't know what you'd like, so... Kai, surprised, touched. You got all 3? Ethan, shrugging with a smile. We can share, unless you're one of those people who doesn't share food. Then I severely misjudged the situation. Narrator. I laughed. A real laugh, not the nervous ones from earlier. Kai. I think I can manage to share. Narrator. For a while we just ate. It was comfortable, no pressure to fill the silence, but I could feel questions bubbling up. Kai. Curious, tentative. Can I ask you something? Ethan. Nodding, open. Anything. Kai. You and Alexander, you've been friends for a long time, right? Ethan. Fondly. Since freshman year of college. He was my roommate. Walked in on move-in day looking like he owned the place, told me his schedule so I could work around it, and I thought he was the most pretentious person I'd ever met. Kai. Grinning. That sounds exactly like him. Ethan. Laughing. Right? But then midterms hit, and I found him at 3 a.m. helping our dorm mate study for a chemistry exam. This guy he barely knew, just patiently explaining molecular structures. That's when I realized Alex isn't cold. He's just careful, protective of the people he cares about. Narrator. There was something wistful in Ethan's voice, something that made me wonder. Kai. Is that why you're still friends, even though you're so different? Ethan. Thoughtful. Maybe we're not as different as people think. We both just show it differently. Narrator. The way Ethan looked at me when he said that, like he was building a bridge right then, right to me. Kai. Deflecting nervously. So this morning, that was mortifying, right? Please tell me it was as mortifying as I think it was. Ethan, teasing. Oh, incredibly mortifying, for Alex anyway. You were kind of amazing. Kai, surprised. Amazing? I literally shouted my sexual orientation at my boss. Ethan, sincere, leaning forward slightly. You stood up for yourself. You didn't let him intimidate you, and you were honest. Softer. That takes courage. Narrator. My cheeks felt warm. When was the last time someone looked at me like that? Like I was someone worth seeing? Kai. Quieter. Vulnerable. I've never really been good at hiding who I am, even when it would have been easier. Ethan. Understanding. Easier isn't always better. Moment of silence, charged with something unspoken. Kai. Changing the subject, but curious. What about you? Are you out? At work, I mean? Ethan. Honest. To the people who matter, yeah. I don't exactly announce it, but I don't hide it either. Life's too short for that kind of exhaustion. Kai. Doesn't it get complicated in the corporate world? Ethan. Thoughtful. Sometimes, but I'd rather deal with complicated than live a lie. Looking at Kai directly. Besides, the right people stick around. The wrong ones, they do you a favor by leaving. Narrator. God, the way he looked at me, like he could see past all my nervous rambling and self-doubt. Kai. Blurting out before he can stop himself. Can I ask why you wanted to have lunch with me? I mean, we barely know each other. Ethan. Pausing, then honest. Honestly, I've noticed you before today, Kai. Kai. Shocked. You what? Ethan. A bit shy, which was adorable on him. You do this thing when you're concentrating. You bite your lower lip and tilt your head, and you always say good morning to the cleaning staff. You remember their names. Softer. I notice things like that. My heart was doing Olympic-level gymnastics in my chest. Kai. Overwhelmed. Honest. I don't know what to say. Ethan. Gentle, giving him an out. You don't have to say anything. I just wanted you to know you're not invisible. Not to me. Narrator. I looked down at my coffee, trying to process everything. This morning I was terrified of losing my job. Now I was sitting across from someone who made my pulse race and actually seemed to see me. Kai. Meeting his eyes, brave. For what it's worth, I've noticed you too. Ethan. Smiling, hopeful. Yeah? Kai. Nodding, smiling back. Yeah. The moment stretched between us, full of possibility. And for the first time all day, I let myself feel it. That flutter of hope, of maybe, of what if. But of course, nothing's ever that simple. My phone buzzed. A message from Elena. Alex wants to see you in his office. ASAP. I'm so sorry, Kai. He's in a mood. Ethan, seeing my expression change. Everything okay? Kai, sighing. Your best friend wants to see me. This should be fun. Ethan, concerned, protective. Want me to come with you? Narrator. I wanted to say yes. God, I wanted to say yes. Kai. I should probably face this one alone, but thank you for this, for making today better. Ethan, standing, sincere. Anytime, Kai. I mean that. Narrator. As I walked back to the office, I could still feel the warmth of his smile. I had no idea that walking into Alexander's office was about to reveal something I never saw coming. Chapter 4. The Apology. Narrator. Alexander's office was exactly what you'd expect. Minimalist, expensive, and vaguely intimidating. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city. Modern art that probably cost more than my yearly salary. He was standing by the window when I walked in, hands in his pockets, shoulders tense. Alexander, not turning around, quiet. Close the door. I did. My heart was pounding, but I wasn't sure if it was from fear or frustration. Kai, cautious. You wanted to see me? Long pause. Alexander, finally turning, and he looks uncomfortable. I owe you an apology. Narrator. I blinked. Did Alexander Zhao just apologize? Kai, surprised. What? Alexander, clearly struggling with this. This morning, I was out of line. Completely out of line. Pause. I made assumptions based on nothing but my own insecurity, and I took it out on you. That was unacceptable. He looked genuinely remorseful. It was strange seeing him like this. Not the cold CEO, but just a person who messed up. Kai, carefully. Why did you think I was interested in Elena? Alexander, running a hand through his hair, vulnerable. Because I'm an idiot? Sighing. Elena and we've been together for 3 years, and lately I've been so buried in work that I barely see her. When I noticed how much time you two were spending together, how she'd light up talking about your conversations, I felt threatened, like I was losing her. There was real pain in his voice. This wasn't about me at all. Kai, softer, understanding. Have you told her that? How you're feeling? Alexander, bitter laugh. That would require me to be emotionally available, which, according to Elena, I'm spectacularly bad at. Kai, gentle, honest. For what it's worth, Mr. Zhao, Elena talks about you constantly, how proud of you are, how much she admires your dedication. She's not going anywhere. Alexander, looking at him, surprised. She said that? Kai, all the time. Maybe you just need to, I don't know, actually listen when she's talking instead of thinking about quarterly reports. A ghost of a smile crossed his face. Alexander, when did you become a relationship counselor? Kai, smiling back. I'm gay, remember? We're contractually obligated to give good relationship advice. Both actually laugh. Alexander, more serious now. About that, I want you to know that your job is secure, and I'll make sure everyone knows that this company is inclusive. If anyone gives you trouble... Kai, interrupting appreciatively. Thank you, really, but I can handle myself. Alexander, respecting that. I believe you can. Pause. Then carefully, I saw you leaving with Ethan. Narrator. Ah, there it was. We went to get lunch, that's all. Ethan's my oldest friend. My best friend. I know. He's also one of the best people I know. Loyal, kind, sometimes too kind for his own good. Looking directly at Kai, he deserves someone who sees that. Someone who won't take advantage of it. This wasn't a warning, it was something else. Permission? A blessing? Kai, meeting his eyes, honest. I would never hurt him, Mr. Zhao. I'm not even sure there's anything to hurt. We just had lunch. Ethan doesn't just have lunch with people. Trust me on this. Translation, there's definitely more going on here. Beat of silence. Kai, curious despite himself. Has he talked about me? Alexander, almost amused now. He hasn't stopped talking about you for 3 weeks. I thought I was imagining it, but after this morning, I should have realized. Translation, his office manager abandoned him and had recent direct contact with Ethan. 3 weeks? Ethan had been noticing me for 3 weeks? I don't understand. Softer, almost fond. Ethan sees people. Really sees them. And when he sees someone he likes, he pays attention. He remembers. Pause. The question is, what are you going to do about it? Kai, honest, vulnerable. I don't know. This is all happening so fast. This morning I was just trying to help with the presentation, and now you've got the CFO taking you to lunch and the CEO giving you relationship advice. Yeah, Monday's been weird for everyone. Translation, was Alexander Zhao actually joking with me? Slight laugh. Weirdest Monday ever. Standing, professional, but warmer. Take the rest of the day. And Kai, waiting until Kai looked at him, if you and Ethan, if something happens there, I have your full support. Just don't break his heart. He pretends to be carefree, but he feels things deeply. Sincerely, I'll remember that. As I left his office, my head was spinning. Alexander's apology, his blessing, the revelation that Ethan had been watching me for weeks. I pulled out my phone and stared at it. Should I text Ethan? What would I even say? Before I could decide, a message appeared. Ethan, so did Alex give you the shovel talk? If he threatened you, I will absolutely put him in timeout. Me, no threats, just unexpectedly good advice, actually. Ethan, that's concerning. Should I check if he has a fever? Me, LOL. Hey, are you free tonight? I hit send before I could overthink it. 3 dots appeared immediately. Ethan, for you? Absolutely. What did you have in mind? My heart was racing, but for the first time, it felt like a good kind of fear. The kind that comes with possibility. Me, dinner? Somewhere we can actually talk? Ethan, I know just the place. Pick you up at 7? Me, it's a date. I stared at those 3 words. Was it a date? Did I want it to be a date? Ethan, it's definitely a date. See you at 7, Kai. Yeah, this was happening. And I was terrified. And excited. And completely and utterly screwed. Chapter 5. The Date. I changed my outfit 4 times. 4 times. Jeans too casual, suit too formal. That blue shirt made me look washed out. The black one was trying too hard. I finally settled on dark jeans and a burgundy Henley. Casual but put together. At least that's what I told my reflection. Kai, to himself, anxious. It's just dinner, just food, with a guy who makes you forget how to form sentences. No pressure. Sound of phone buzzing. Ethan, downstairs whenever you're ready. No rush. Narrator, I grabbed my jacket and headed down. The moment I stepped outside, I saw him leaning against a sleek black car, looking unfairly gorgeous in a casual navy button-down and dark jeans. Ethan, straightening up, and his smile was soft, genuine. Hey. Kai, a bit breathless. Hey. Ethan, eyes trailing over Kai appreciatively. You look amazing. Kai, blushing. You clean up pretty well yourself. Narrator, he opened the car door for me. Actual gentleman behavior that shouldn't have made my stomach flip, but absolutely did. The restaurant was intimate. Dim lighting, soft jazz playing, tables spaced far enough apart for private conversation. This wasn't a casual dinner. This was a date. Ethan, once we were seated, I hope this is okay. I know it's a bit much for a first date, but I really wanted tonight to be special. Kai, honest, touched. It's perfect. And it was. The conversation flowed easily. Childhood stories, terrible first jobs, favorite movies, embarrassing college moments. Ethan, laughing. No, I'm serious. I actually showed up to a final exam in my pajamas because I thought it was the next day. Had to take it in Batman pajama pants and a hoodie. Kai, grinning. Please tell me someone took a picture. Ethan, mock serious. We don't talk about the picture. But then the conversation shifted. Deeper, more real. Kai, playing with his napkin, vulnerable. Can I ask you something? Ethan, attentive. Always. Kai, why me? I mean, you could have anyone. You're successful, gorgeous, funny. Why are you interested in the awkward marketing guy who shouts about his sexuality in inappropriate situations? Ethan, leaning forward, sincere. You want the real answer? Kai, nodding, nervous. Please? Ethan, thoughtful, choosing his words carefully. 3 weeks ago, I was having the worst day. A deal fell through, the board was on my case, and I was questioning everything. I was leaving late, stressed out of my mind, and I passed by your desk. I remembered that night. I'd been working late too. Ethan, you were on the phone with someone, your mom, I think, and you were laughing, this genuine full laugh. And then you said, Mom, I don't care if the job is stressful. I'd rather be stressed and authentic than comfortable and pretending to be someone I'm not. Kai, surprised he heard that. You heard that? Ethan, nodding, and it hit me. Here I was drowning in expectations and pressure, and you had it figured out. You knew who you were. You weren't apologizing for it. Softer. I wanted to know you, the real you. My throat felt tight. Kai, quietly, I'm not that brave, not really. Ethan, reaching across the table, not quite touching but close. You came out to your boss this morning when he was accusing you of something ridiculous. You stood your ground. That's brave, Kai. Kai, looking at his hand so close to mine, I was terrified. Ethan, gentle. Brave doesn't mean not scared. It means being scared and doing it anyway. Moment of charged silence. Kai, taking a breath, deciding to be brave. I noticed you, too, before today. Ethan, surprised, hopeful. Yeah? Kai, you have this thing you do when you're in meetings. You doodle on your notepad, little geometric patterns, and you always make sure the interns get credit for their ideas. Meeting his eyes. You're kind without making a show of it. That's rare. Ethan, voice a bit rough with emotion. Kai, continuing, need to get this out. I'm not good at this. Dating, relationships. I overthink everything, and I get anxious, and sometimes I ramble about nothing just to fill silence. Ethan, interrupting gently, finally taking his hand. I like when you ramble. The hand was warm, solid, real. Kai, staring at their joined hands. This is happening? We're really doing this? Ethan, squeezing gently. Only if you want to. Kai, honest, vulnerable. I do, but I'm also terrified of messing this up. You're important to Alexander, and you're my boss, technically, and what if... Ethan, cutting him off, but kindly. Hey, breathe. Waiting until Kai does. We don't have to have it all figured out tonight. We can take this slow, see where it goes. No pressure. Kai, you're okay with slow? Ethan, smiling. Kai, I've been watching you for 3 weeks hoping you'd notice me. I'm very okay with slow. I laughed, feeling some of the tension release. Okay, slow? I can do slow. Good, because I'm planning to take you on many more dates, if that's okay with you. That's very okay with me. We stayed at that restaurant for hours, talking until they started putting chairs up on tables. And when Ethan walked me to my door, there was this moment. We stood there, neither wanting the night to end. Ethan, soft but nervous himself. I had a really good time tonight. Kai, equally soft. Me too. Would it be okay if I kissed you? My heart stopped, then started again, racing. Kai, barely a whisper. Yes. It was gentle, tender. His hand cupped my cheek like I was something precious, and when our lips met, it felt like coming home. When we pulled apart, we were both smiling. Definitely going on another date. Kai, breathless, happy, definitely. As I watched him drive away, I couldn't stop smiling. For the first time in forever, I felt like maybe, just maybe, I deserved this. Deserved happiness. Deserved him. Tomorrow, we'd figure out the complicated stuff. The office dynamics, the questions, the logistics. But tonight? Tonight was perfect. You'd think after that perfect date, everything would just fall into place, right? Well, sort of. Walking into work the next morning felt surreal. Everything looked the same, but I felt different, like I was glowing from the inside out. Elena approaching with a knowing smile. Someone's in a good mood. Kai trying to play it cool, failing. I don't know what you're talking about. Elena laughing. Uh-huh. Does this good mood have anything to do with a certain CFO? Kai, eyes widening. How did you... Elena. Ethan came to breakfast with Alex this morning, couldn't stop smiling and checking his phone, and Alex said, and I quote, Ethan's been insufferable and happy, which means the date went well. So, did it? Narrator. I couldn't help but smile. Kai. Yeah, it really did. Elena, genuinely happy for him. Good, you both deserve this. Softer. And I'm sorry about yesterday. Alex told me what he did. He feels terrible. Kai. He apologized. We're good. Elena. Still, I gave him an earful. Nobody accuses my friend of anything without evidence. Play. Plus, now I have 2 guys to help me with the gala instead of 1. You can't back out now. Narrator. 2 guys, meaning Ethan would be there too. My heart did that stupid flutter thing again. Sound. Email notification. I glanced at my computer. A message from Ethan. Morning. Dinner tonight? I know a great Thai place, unless you're sick of me already. I typed back immediately. Never. Thai sounds perfect. Ethan. It's a date again. I'm going to keep saying that until it stops making me smile. Kai. Good luck with that. Narrator. Elena was watching me with the biggest grin. Oh, you've got it bad. Kai. Yeah, I really do. Later that week, the office. Over the next few days, Ethan and I fell into this rhythm. Lunch together when we could, quick coffee breaks, late-night texts that turned into hour-long conversations. We were careful at work, professional, appropriate, but sometimes I'd catch him looking at me across the conference room, and my concentration would completely evaporate. In conference room midweek. Alexander was presenting quarterly results. Ethan sat across from me, and our eyes met. He winked in the middle of a serious business meeting. I had to cough to hide my laugh. Alexander, pausing, looking at me. Something funny, Kai? Kai, composing himself. No, sir, just clearing my throat. Please continue. Narrator. Alexander's eyes flicked between Ethan and me. A small smile played at his lips before he continued. After the meeting, he pulled me aside. Alexander, low voice, but not unkind. You're good for him. I haven't seen Ethan happy in years. Kai, surprised, touched. Thank you for, being okay with this? Alexander. Why wouldn't I be? You're both adults. You clearly care about each other. And, pausing, more serious, Ethan's the closest thing I have to a brother. Seeing him happy makes me happy. Even if it complicates things at work? HR will have some paperwork for you both, conflict of interest forms, that sort of thing, but as long as you keep it professional here, what you do outside these walls is your business. It felt like a weight lifting. I never thought I'd say this, but you're not as scary as I thought. Don't spread that around. I have a reputation to maintain. Ethan had invited me over for dinner. He was cooking, which apparently was one of his hidden talents. Okay, so the secret to good pad thai is the tamarind paste. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. You're really into this, aren't you? Cooking relaxes me. Plus, I like taking care of people trailing off, then softer. People I care about. He was going to say something else. We both knew it. But it was too soon for those words, even if we both felt them hovering in the air between us. I care about you too. Yeah? Yeah. Ethan set down the spatula and pulled me close, and we kissed in his kitchen with the smell of cooking garlic and the soft sound of jazz playing in the background. It was domestic. Normal. Perfect. Is it too soon to say I'm falling for you? My breath caught. Not if I'm falling too. Good. The night of the gala arrived. Elena's presentation was a hit, and the event raised triple its goal. I stood on the balcony, taking a breath of fresh air, when Ethan found me. Hiding? Taking a break. It's a lot of people. One company? Always. We stood there, shoulders touching, looking out at the city lights. A week ago, I thought my biggest problem was Alexander thinking I was after his girlfriend. And now? Now I'm standing here with you, and I'm thinking, maybe getting accused of something I didn't do was the best thing that ever happened to me. Best thing that happened to me, too. Inside, I could see Alexander and Elena dancing. He whispered something in his ear, and she laughed, that genuine, full laugh. They'd be okay. And so would we. People are gonna talk about us. Let them. I'm done hiding who I care about. Me too. And when he kissed me, there on the balcony with the stars above and the party inside, I knew this was just the beginning. Over the following weeks, we learned each other's rhythms. Ethan's terrible habit of working too late, my tendency to overthink everything, how he took his coffee, how I needed quiet mornings to function. We had our first argument about something stupid, about whether pineapple belonged on pizza. We laughed about it after. We met each other's friends. I introduced him to my family via video call. My mom loved him instantly. We figured out the work boundaries, professional in meetings, supportive in private. And slowly, that falling feeling turned into something deeper, something solid. People ask me sometimes if I regret that Monday, the misunderstanding, the awkwardness, coming out in the worst possible way. And I tell them the truth. I wouldn't change a single thing. Because sometimes the worst mornings lead to the best stories. And sometimes the person you least expect becomes the person you can't imagine your life without. Lunch? Always. Yeah. Best Monday ever. Thanks for listening to our story. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments what kind of BL story you'd like to hear next. Until next time, remember, sometimes the best love stories start with the worst misunderstandings. See you in the next one.